Hello everyone, I'm Professor Ozan Örmeci and today we have a valuable guest from Cyprus, Dr. Theano Kalavana. She's President of OPEK, a civil society organization from Cyprus, and we had Theo as our guest another time before. Welcome back, Theo.
Good to be here with you, Ozan, one more time.
Thank you. It's our pleasure, Theo. And Theo, it's yesterday it was the headlines in Turkey everywhere, maybe in Cyprus also. There were presidential elections in North Cyprus, Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, we call it. And the presidential candidate of Republican Turkish Party, a center-left party, CTP, Dr. Tufan Erhuman, he's a lawyer educated in Turkey, in Ankara. He was educated the new and the sixth president of TRNC. And you know that traditionally CTP, JTP is closer to the idea of a federational solution on the island and to peaceful dialogue resolution method. So what are the reflections of President Erdogan's election in Cyprus, in your country? Thank you.
In the Greek Cypriot community, we welcome this outcome from these elections because we also know that Erhürman is keen to bizonal bicommunal federation. He also stated it in different occasions. So the Greek Cypriots, we start having some hope because he's away from the two-state solution that Ersin Dadar was claiming every time. So there is hope. On the other hand, I must be honest and tell you that different medias in the Greek Cypriot community, presented this election with the hope, but some with a lot of doubt because Erhurman's statements the night of that he won the elections on Sunday night, he said that, I will be collaborating closely with Turkey as to foreign affairs and so on.
Yes.
In some media, they take the advantages to bring again doubt into the nation that nothing will change. And some other medias, they welcome this with the hope that now that Tadar is out of the picture, most probably will go to the table again for negotiations.
Okay. So, if I'm wrong, please correct my view. But now it seems like we have two presidents on the north and the south who are supporting peace talks in Cyprus, Ms. President Christodoulis and President Erdogan. Shouldn't we be more optimistic about peace talks in the new term than Theo? What do you think?
Well, I absolutely agree with you that now we have two presidents that the both two leaders, let's say that they both are keen to bizonal bicommunal federation. But on the other hand, there's still a lot of doubts into Greek Cypriot community as to how our president will move towards this direction. Because it says that, but it seems like even in these 2.5 years that some of the measurements, measurements of trust agreed with Dadar, none of them happen in both
Mm,
communities, even in our community. So there is this sense in Greek Cypriot community about our president that he doesn't mean what he says. So
mm,
if you were looking at the social media on Sunday and Monday and yesterday, you would be able to see this doubt not coming for Erhuman, but coming also for our president. So I hope that we are wrong and that Mr. Christodoulidis will initiate, and I think Olgin is coming the beginning of November in Cyprus again. And I think there is one five parties will meet in the States beginning of December. So I think they will have a clear view what are the intentions of the two communities, to be honest. And I hope that I'm
Mhm.
wrong and that this doubt that we have for our own president will not be there.
Okay. And Theo, maybe you noticed that President Erdogan, in his electoral manifesto, of course, he openly stated that he supports the negotiations for a federal solution in Cyprus, but he also came up this time with some preconditions. And he said that in the negotiations that will hopefully resume with Greek Cypriots, between Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, he will ask for, unchangeable positions, the political equality between two communities, rotational presidency for the new state, and an agreed timetable. And in the case of rejection, of course, the failure of the peace talks, non-return to status quo. So maybe the new leadership hopes that this might, kind of direct our Greek Cypriot friends to find a lasting solution to the decades of Cyprus problem. Do you think that could be? I mean, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Cypriot domestic politics, but President Christodoulis is recently elected, so he'll be in office, I think, for another 3 years. There will be a legislative election next year in Cyprus, but not necessarily presidential election. So, do you think these are unacceptable demands for President Christodoulis and his team, and also in general for Greek Cypriots?
Well, these were on the table also in Gran Montana, and if I'm not mistaken, were there in 2004. So since Christodoulos is accepting the Guterres framework, that means that shouldn't be an issue what is Erhürman stating as to the political equality and so on, and the rotation in presidents and so on. On the other hand, those and we have also the big two parties,
Yes.
AKEL and which is left, and DC, which is right, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Both big parties, they welcome the election, the Erhurman's elected as the leader of the Turkish Cypriot. So this, they're keen also for negotiations and so on, the two big parties. But these two big parties are not part of the government. Who is part of the government is DIGO, EDEC,
Yes.
DIPA, so and Hidden Elam, which is far right. Okay, so these three parties, apart from DIPA, that is, but DIGO and EDEC, they are not keen to bizonal bicommunal federation or any. And if I may say, maybe not in any kind of solutions that
Mm.
is not involving, what they have in mind as one community and so on. On the other hand, as to the parliamentary elections that we'll have in May 2026, Parliament is not influencing, let's say, directly the
Mm.
Cyprus problem of.
Semi-presidential system, right? Like maybe in North Cyprus, kind of
Yes,
semi-presidential, I
yes,
guess.
it's the same. It's the same. So they're not influencing any negotiations or, let's say, the developments of the negotiations for bizonal bicommunal federation. The problem is that from um, uh, some of the, let's say, research and polls that are out, it seems like the far right will get more positions in the parliament.
Oh.
And this is a problem.
Mm.
And the far right is not parties that they believe in bizonal bicommunal federation.
Yes.
Um, so I don't know, and also it's rumors, but it's kind of proven because there are some events that president participated or our president participated also. And it seems like the far right will be the party that will support the next presidential elections in
Mm.
2028, will support Christodoulidis. So
Oh.
and it seems like it supported him unofficially for these elections also,
Oh.
the ones that we had 2.5 years ago. So that's my only worry as to how this can impact any kind of negotiations. On the other hand, what I see, Ozan, is that
Mhm.
in January, Cyprus will have the will be leading the European Union, right, for
Yes,
6 months.
yes.
So I guess that if Christodoulis wants to avoid any negotiations, he will say, the following months I have the presidential, we have the, we are hosting the European Union, so on, and all the events that will take place, and leaders coming and going, and so on. So I'm wondering, like, if that will be an excuse not to continue with any negotiations, just to freeze them for a bit. And then after that, basically, it's only 1.5 years away, or almost 2 years away from the next presidential election. So
Mhm.
I'm not sure what he's going to do, and how much he's willing to go all the way.
So it's full of uncertainty for the moment. We don't know what will be his reaction.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I hope that things will need to move, and hopefully, if he's not under his presidency, but let's hope for the next president to be ready for, signing the solution. If Christodoulis, he will avoid to do so. Because, if we don't solve the Cyprus problem as a human, and I know that this was also Turkey position, is that another failure needs to be some consequences
Yes.
if it's not our fault. Let's say if it's
Mhm.
not Turkey fault. So I guess that I hope that this rings a bell to
Mhm.
Stabilis, not to, you know, to reunify the island, and it's the only way I feel that he will be elected again, because if he reunifies the island, I think he needs to be the person who will supervise the implementation, let's say, as a president.
Mhm.
This is how it was in the past. I'm not sure how is it now in the talks, but I know that it was in the past that he needed to be the one who will overview the implementation of the bizonal bicommunal federation, the agreement,
Mhm.
and hopefully, yeah.
And maybe one last question to probably we don't have chance to visit South Cyprus, Republic of Cyprus, the southern part, but you visit the northern side, you come to Turkey, I guess. I mean, do you think, okay, of course, we had terrible memories in the past between Turks and Greeks, also 100 years ago, 200 years ago. But now, do you think two nations, three nations, including also four nations, Turkish, Cyprus, and Greeks, there are, social enmities, or how tense do you think relations are between, especially in Cyprus, but also in general Turkish-Greek relations?
You mean between Greeks and Greek Cypriots, or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean between Greeks
No,
and
no,
Turks?
no. Turkish Cyprus, Greek Cyprus. I mean, there's still
Hmm.
people can move, and there aren't any, kind of big issues. I hope, I guess. So I mean, that gives us optimism about a potential solution, federal solution. What do you think? I mean, your observations and your experiences in the northern part. That's why I'm asking.
What I see, I mean, every day we function next to each other. I mean, we are shopping from the same supermarkets. We have dinners at the same restaurants next to each other. Some, of course, I mean, I have many friends, Turkish Cypriots, and I've been involved in many bi-communal, let's say, activities since 2004. So I have lots of friends, but I mean, there isn't any problem between Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. There were some tensions between, I think, the fact that we had so many Israelis
Hmm.
buying land and
Lands,
building.
yes.
Yeah,
Recent lands.
so that because I think we put into jail one of the constructors or the agents in Israel. So Dadar kept five Greek Cypriots and still is keeping them
Yeah, yeah, that
in
was such
prison.
a.
So that's one of the tensions that is there, and I hope that
Hmm.
German will will find a solution for that because it's so unfair to hold these people there for no reason, basically. Um, so that was the only tension that I can recall. Other than that, I mean, it's you driving in the streets and you see Turkish Cypriots, templates, in their cars. The same. I mean, we also I also go to the north. Uh, so there isn't anything. It's like we don't kill each other. I mean, we don't. I don't feel like everyday people hate each other. I mean, Turkish, Cyprus, or Greece. What I sense is that there is this doubt,
Hmm.
of will will we be able to live together again? And always, when there's a change, there is always doubts, right? Any minor change we do in our life, we think it a lot, even if it's a positive one. The same with the nations, right? It's
Yes.
even bigger. It's half a century that we are like that.
Mhm. Okay, now short last question then, Theo. I know you're busy. I'm also. So, how optimistic should we be about the resuming of the negotiations?
Well, we are resuming and starting them. I think this will go well. I'm optimistic about that. I think this will. I have the sense that soon there's going to be, a meeting of the two leaders, and then hopefully with the help of Olgin, the negotiations will start. What I'm not certain, and maybe I have my doubts, is how this will evolve.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, then
Mhm.
maybe, hopefully, we'll see you in Turkey once again. Maybe for an academic conference, we can elaborate on the negotiations and discuss in detail with our Greek Cypriot experts also. We'll be delighted. Thank you, Theo, for your time.
Thank you too. Thank you too, Zan.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.